Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to hit on two topics. Rum, of course. We're going to taste Ron Matusalem. I'm probably murdering that. I'm sorry. It's a Cuban rum right here, 18-year-old aged rum. And when this video is over, we're also going to, I'll add a video on how I created my DIY pool heater, which works great. I can tell you over the winter months, it kept our pool roughly 5 to 10 degrees warmer than it did the previous year, and it cost very little to do. So I'll run you through how to do that. But first things first, rum. Like I said, this rum, Ron Matusalem, I'm killing that, I know I am, is from Cuba. So what drink am I going to have with Ron Matusalem, 18-year-old aged rum? A rum and coke, of course. So, well, I've got my glass. Let's do rum and coke. Okay, now we have rum and coke. Cuba Libre. So good. So, Cuba Libre, interesting fact. Over the past couple weeks, I have been listening to a book called The Book of Joy by it's not really by, it's more with the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. They, I guess, spent a week together and discussing joy, and I don't really want to go into it, but I can tell you right now, I'm halfway through it. It's a great book. It's very interesting. But the one fun fact for our channel here is that Desmond Tutu's favorite drink is rum and coke. So, cheers, Desmond Tutu. I suggest, if you're into that, reading books and whatever, check it out. I'm listening to it because I don't have time to read. So, yeah, it's really good. But what have we been doing? Past 2 weeks, let's see, Cristobal flew through here and filled my pool full of water and, basically drenched us with rain and some crazy wind. We were being in Clearwater, we're on the left side, which tropical storms and hurricanes being on the left side is the wet side. I hope everybody else fared through that pretty well. I know it pretty much impacted Louisiana and New Orleans, so hope everyone there is doing okay. Today we were able to actually get out and go spend some time on the boat that you saw in the last video. We went out to an island and threw the kids in the pool threw the kids in the water, salt water, and had a pretty good time. So I'm a little salty. I've been having a couple drinks for a little bit now, and so, parental guidance, we don't know where this is going to go, so just buckle up and we'll see what happens. We spent the day out on the boat. I'm a little pinked, if you will. I got some sun today. We had a lot of fun. Still doing our, crazy 2020 that we're in, so we're still doing our distancing, but it is what it is, and you got to make the best of it and, have a drink occasionally and just thank God you're alive, or thank whoever you're alive. Just keep on rolling. The ride is still in progress, so sit back and relax. Speaking of sitting back and relax, I am excited to tell you one of the other things I've been working on. I am not an art designer at heart. This is not my thing. And believe it or not, even the video thing is not my thing. I'm just kind of figuring this out as I go along. But what I did do is I will flash it now. That is the new the new logo for RumJohn. That is what I kind of wanted to share the crew of the RumJohn, ship here, and we're all just, having fun. So I wanted to just kind of create something that said, hey, this is who we are. This is, when you come to RumJohn, when you're at the YouTube channel or the website or whatever, be prepared to chill, because this is what we're about here. Hanging back, having a drink, just relaxing. So yeah, I created a logo. I hope you guys like it. If you guys got some, tips, or you guys want me to add something, want me to remove something, or you don't like something, let me know. I'm very interested and see what you guys' thoughts are on it. I don't know what's going to come out of it, right? And I know I ordered some flags for us because I'm into colors. I'm into the pirate colors. So I not only made that logo, but I also made at the top of the logo the colors. So we'll check those out too. I'm gonna make a pirate flag, and I know us here at the RumJohn bar, we're gonna be sporting some T-shirts. So if you guys are interested in that stuff, let me know. I'm not looking to make a bunch of money here, but I just thought I'd let you guys see that stuff and let me know. I'm excited about it because I've kind of always wanted to do that. I've started watching YouTube channels a long time ago, and it's just kind of been my thing of like watching. I want to watch reality, but I don't want to watch reality TV. So watching people like Delos here, that's kind of that is reality. These guys are traveling around the world, and this is how they do it. So one day I hope to be able to do that. But in the meantime, I'm going to sit here at my bar. I'm going to sit here in my boat, what you saw last episode, and we're just going to hang out and have fun. So that's the logo. So let's get on with the rum. So the rum, Ron Matusalem. You tell me how you say it. I am not Spanish speaking. In fact, the funny thing is I asked my neighbor who is from Cuba how to say it, and he told me about 12 times, and the best I could get was Ron Matusalem. So I don't know. I feel like I say it more like Middle Eastern than I do Spanish, but whatever. It is good. I will tell you, this is another similar to Pirate XO. This one is a blended of rum. They don't distill it. They blend a bunch of rums together. They have a, let's see here. It was Benjamin and Edward Camp and their partner Evaristo Alvarez are the founders. It was founded 150 years ago in 1872 in Cuba, obviously Cuba. Back to Cuba Libre. So good. So it was named after a biblical individual who lived for 969 years. 969 years old. That's old. I bet that guy wish he had rum. Anyways, not to get all that on you, but that's what they named it after. Actually, it's the interesting thing on their label or their icon or their logo has a swallow on it, and so when they opened up the first production facility in Cuba, at the opening a flock of swallows flew over top and then nested there. So suddenly there's a flock of swallows. So they decided that the flock of swallow being a free-spirited, kind of a free-spirited bird, that was going to be their logo. And it has a like a ribbon or a scroll on it that basically says trademark. So that's how they trademark it. But there's they have quite a few flavors. They have an 18, I think it's 23, a 15, and it's very, I honestly, this is a new one for me, and I'm kind of researching it a little bit as I go because I kind of like their style. They're very like they have old retro advertisements that you can go out and buy, and I just kind of like their interesting take on chilling, right? I mean, if you're gonna make rum, you're gonna chill, and their interesting kind of retro-y take on chilling, and then the 1950s and the 1940s in Cuba, which they say on their website, which I think is true. Back in the golden age of Cuba, it was like the Paris of the Americas, right? I mean, everybody. It was during like especially during Prohibition, the Americans would go there, and that would be their little hangout or their getaway, and they could drink it up and have all the rum they wanted back then. So I guess back in the golden age of rum or golden age of Cuba, that was this rum was pretty hot back then. So yeah, it's like I said, it's not a distilled, it's a blended, and then they age it. They use I have to write some of this down. I'm sorry because these are big words. The Solero Santiago, method, or the Solero method, is a method that they use, which was it's basically the method that they use to create Spanish brandy and Spanish sherry, and so that's the same method that they use to create this rum, which is interesting, right? We talked about Siesta Key and how they use whiskey bottles to create some of their rum, and now we're talking about brandy and sherry bottles, which is a little different take on it. So Yeah, so they have a master blender. That master blender is someone that they have kind of assigned through the years. Since 1872, it's been an individual of the family throughout the generations that they've said, "You're the master, figure it out." And that master is the guy that or girl that goes and figures out what barrels to use, how to smoke the barrels to give it the flavor, and the whole shebang. It's pretty interesting how they do that. In 2015, they opened up a new facility in Dominican Republic because why I don't know, but the benefit of Dominican Republic and Cuba is they are pretty close in climate. So what they were doing in Cuba, they can now do in Dominican Republic, and have basically create the same thing over again. So that's pretty interesting how they do that. And I guess part of the method is of dynamic aging that they do is they put it in a mixture of different barrels for different time periods, and they're at different elevations above ground. That, like I said, we are just a laid-back group here at RumJohn, sitting at the bar, just tasting rum and saying, yeah, that tastes really good. So all of that is very interesting, but way over my head. I understand how aging it in a brandy bottle versus a whiskey bottle versus a sherry, barrel versus a sherry barrel. I could get how that would change the taste because of the sherry, the brandy, and the whiskey, but the elevation, sure. Nope, don't get that. But hey, all I know is it tastes good. So, without further ado, let's pop this baby and let's have a taste. What do we look at? It is very caramel. It has a very caramel look to it. It almost has a whiskey-ish kind of smell to it. It's different. It's not like it's definitely not like these two here, where this was fruity and this had all basically it was Christmas in a bottle, right? Yeah, it's different. It has a kind of a whiskey-ish flavor to it, or scent to it. Yeah, I can see where the brandy comes in. It's definitely got a brandy kind of tone to it. Yeah, it's really good. I like it. Yeah, I would definitely say go out and check that out. This is the 18-year-old. I think, like I said, there's a 23. That's really good. Yeah, that's pretty good, actually. Yeah, I like it. Go check it out. So what else is going on? We did the rum. We talked the logo. Oh, the pool. Yeah. So, like I said, the pool. What I did is I did some research on my own, and we bought this house a couple years ago, and it did not have a pool heater. In the first 2 years we lived here, basically winter was off limits. And I know, Clearwater, Florida, and I know a bunch of you are like, whatever, shut up. It's it's nicer here in winter than it is in most places. But I mean, when you got a pool and you got kids and they want to get in the pool and it's too hot, what do, right? So I, being some people call it DIY, I call it being a pirate, figuring out how to do things without just throwing money at everything, right? And so I went out and figured out, hey, if you buy a pool heater, it is basically just a bunch of black tube running back and forth, and the sun hits it, and it uses the power of the sun. So yeah, it to heat the tubes up, and then heats the water up. So yeah, I figured out how to create those tubes myself. I bypassed the water out of the pool pump up through the pool heater, and like I said, it's great. You get in the pool right now. All right. Right now it's a little warm. It's about 89 degrees in the pool. It's a little warm for me, but it's not bad. I've been turning it down slowly over the past couple days here to, basically to the point now where it's only about a third of it's going through the pool heater. And I think probably next week I'll shut it off completely, and we'll just not bypass the pool heater altogether, and we'll just pump it straight back into the pool. But I want you to see how I did that, because I researched pool heaters, and pool heaters are expensive, especially the solar pool heaters. Anyways, are very, they're like $2,000 for a decent pool heater, and it's like just a bunch of pipe. And that was the big thing that I just kept like looking at. I'm like, it's just a bunch of pipe. And if you're pretty halfway handy, you can figure out how to do it all. And that's what I did. So I will show you how I did it when this video is done. But other than that, yeah, I just want to let you guys know that we're just kind of hanging out. 2020 is definitely a different year, but we're just kind of hanging out, doing our thing, distancing when we can, because let's be safe. We're all human out there. It doesn't matter, what your mindset is. It's about safety. So just be safe, hang out, sit back, relax, have a drink, enjoy the ride. Speaking of having a drink, before I cut this off, let me just tell you, as you can see, we've done 3 episodes, 3 bottles. This is a smaller bottle, but I've got the bigger bottle inside. So what I wanted to say is I kind of came up with an idea, and I think what I want to do is when we hit 100 subscribers, 2020 being what it is, and we all have to separate in that. I think after we hit 100 subscribers, I'm not drinking these bottles. Like, I'm having the shot that you guys see me, or the drink that you guys see me mix. Like, look, here's the shot, and I'm just gonna mix it into my Cuba Libre here, and I'm gonna keep drinking the same one. But after that, these bottles just sit. So let's do a meetup. We can meet at the RumJohn boat, or at the bar, or whatever you guys want to do, somewhere else, and you guys can help me finish these bottles. So if it takes me, or takes us, because we're all in this together, crew, if it takes us 20 bottles to get to 100, fine. We'll have 20 bottles with 1 shot out of each one of them, and that's what we're going to use. And we'll just all get together somewhere, whoever can, and we'll get together and we'll just go through these bottles. So that is my plan. Let's do it that way. And then after 100, we'll do 1,000, right? I'll keep saving these bottles up. I can't drink this much, guys. I like it, but I can't drink it this much. So what we'll do is we'll save these bottles up underneath the bar here, and when you guys are ready to meet up, after we hit 100, we'll meet up, we'll drink these bottles. When we hit 1,000, however many bottles that is, we'll drink up those. And that is that's where I'm going to end it, you guys. Thanks for coming back. Next time we are going to next time I got a lot of things coming up. So let me just tell you, my dad's coming down. He is a grill master, so he will be in town, and so we'll do an episode with him. My wife is still promising to make her famous guacamole dip, so it is holy guacamole good. I'm not even lying. And then I've got a buddy of mine, and I think he lives in Ohio, that I work with. He's got a plantation pineapple rum. I've never had it, but I found it here, and so he and I are gonna do Zoom. I'm gonna try to do this whole thing on Zoom. Where actually, his name is Gary. He is one of the guys that him and his father are the ones that do the music that I've been using occasionally. So he's going to tell us a little bit about himself and a little about the music that they do, and he and I are going to try that plantation pineapple rum. Pineapple rum, pineapple rum instantly pops in pina colada. So hey, and don't fear the umbrella, embrace the umbrella. So I'm just going to roll with it, So on that note, we'll sit back, relax, have a drink, and enjoy the ride. So as I said, I created a solar pool heater using 1.5 inch pipe. Spray painted it black with my son. Created an exoskeleton, if you will, over my shed. It's a 14-foot long shed, and then I just zigzagged the pipes back and forth. I fed it after the pool filter and fed it up into the highest point of the solar pool heater. I created 2 bypasses and a sight glass. So here it goes up the side of the shed, up the exoskeleton. It's galvanized pipe from Lowe's, and I'm going to the highest point, letting it come down, and letting it flow down to the lowest point, and then it comes back in and goes into the pool. So that's how I did it. It's pretty easy. I can go into more detail if you guys want, but works great. That's it for today. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.